My wife took a dangerous job overseas. The phone call came at midnight, a stranger's voice crackling through static. Your wife's trapped, embassy's on lockdown. My heart plummeted, the dark of our Boston apartment closing in. Sophie, my wife, was 6,000 miles away in a war-torn country. Her dream job now a nightmare. I'd begged her not to go, warned her about the gunfire and unrest. She'd left anyway, her suitcase packed with ambition, leaving me with a hollow bed and a note, "I'll be back soon, Jake, trust me." Now her parents stood at my door, eyes pleading. But my resolve was iron. Not my job, not my rescue. I'm Jake, 38, a civil engineer who built bridges. Literal ones, not the kind to fix a fracturing marriage. Sophie, 35, was a journalist, her passion for truth as fierce as her stubborn streak. Her stories lit up the world, but her hunger for impact often outran caution. Then there was Omar, her editor, a slick veteran who dangled a high-paying gig covering a civil war in a Middle Eastern hotspot. "It's too dangerous," I'd told her, citing news of bombings. She'd scoffed, eyes blazing. "It's my career, Jake, my risk." The signs crept in like smoke. Sophie spent weeks on late-night calls with Omar, planning logistics, her laptop screen glowing with maps of conflict zones. She'd brush off my concerns, saying, "I've covered protests before." Her suitcase grew heavy with gear, bulletproof vest, satellite phone, items I'd never imagined in our home. She stopped wearing her wedding ring, claiming it was safer abroad. She's just focused, I told myself, ignoring the dread pooling in my gut. She wouldn't put a second. But nights alone, staring at her empty pillow, I wondered if her heart was still mine. The conflict hit like a detonation. 3 weeks ago, Sophie boarded a plane, her last text a breezy, "Love you, back in a month." Then silence. No calls, no emails, just news reports of escalating violence, rebels seizing the capital, foreigners trapped. I paced our apartment, checking her blog, finding nothing. Then came Omar's email, forwarded by her assistant. "Sophie's embedded with a local crew. No extraction plan yet." No plan? My hands shook. She chose this, not me. I scoured her desk, finding a contract she'd signed, $80,000 for 3 months, no mention of safety protocols. She risked everything for this? My emotional journey was a storm. Confusion first. Why didn't she tell me the full risk? Then denial. She's fine, she's tough. Pain clawed at me, raw and relentless, as I imagined her caught in crossfire, her voice silenced. I warned her, I thought, replaying our fights, her dismissing my fears as overprotective. Anger surged, hot and sharp. She chose glory over us. I wanted to scream, to smash the framed photo of us hiking in Maine, her smile wide. But fear lingered. What if I lose her? I sat on our couch, clutching her scarf, its faint jasmine scent breaking me. Am I enough to bring her back? The twist came 2 days later. Her parents, Ellen and Tom, showed me a grainy video smuggled out by a colleague. Sophie was alive, hiding in a shelled-out school, reporting on civilian casualties. But the video revealed more. She wasn't just a journalist. She'd been smuggling medical supplies for locals, risking her life beyond her job. Omar's email had lied. She wasn't just embedded. She was in deeper, driven by her heart, not just ambition. "She didn't tell you," Tom said, his voice breaking, "because she knew you'd stop her." Stop her? My anger cracked, replaced by awe and terror. She's saving lives. But the danger was real. Rebels were closing in, the embassy evacuating. She's not just risking herself, I thought, my heart pounding. She's risking our future. I faced a choice, stay angry or fight for her. Not my job, I'd told myself, but seeing her in that video, dirt-streaked but defiant, I knew I couldn't let her go. The aftermath was chaos. I contacted the State Department, my voice steady but desperate. "She's my wife," I said, sharing the video. They promised to prioritize her, but options were slim. Private extraction was our best shot, costing thousands we didn't have. Ellen and Tom offered their savings. "Bring her home," Ellen pleaded. I hesitated, my pride screaming, "Not my rescue." But Sophie's face in that video, her courage, her fear, haunted me. "I'll try," I said, my throat tight. I wired their money to a security firm, coordinating with Sophie's colleague. Days blurred into sleepless nights, tracking updates, praying for a signal. Then, a call. Sophie was out, airlifted to a safe zone. I flew to meet her in Istanbul, my heart a tangle of relief and rage. At the airport, she looked frail, her eyes shadowed but alive. "Jake," she whispered, collapsing into my arms, "I'm so sorry." "Why didn't you tell me?" I asked, my voice cracking. "The supplies? The risks?" "I thought I could handle it," she said, tears falling. "I wanted to make a difference." "You almost didn't come back," I said, holding her tighter. "You're my difference." Her sob broke the silence, and I felt her tremble. "She's here," I thought. But are we? The emotional growth was slow. Back home, Sophie wrestled with guilt, her nightmares waking us both. I grieved the trust we'd lost, the nights I'd spent hating her choice. Can I forgive her? I wondered, watching her type stories, her hands shaking. But I grew, learning to listen, to share my fears instead of bottling them. Sophie grew too, scaling back assignments, focusing on local reporting. We talked, raw and honest, about her need to help, my need for safety. 6 months later, we sat on our porch, the main photo on the table. Sophie's latest story, a piece on refugee aid, had won an award. "I'm sorry I broke us," she said, her voice soft, her hand in mine. "You didn't," I replied, squeezing her fingers. "You bent us. We're stronger now." She smiled, tentative but real, her jasmine scent grounding me. Love's a battlefield, I thought, and we're still fighting. The ending wasn't perfect. Some days I still felt the sting of her secrecy, the fear of losing her. But as we watched the sunset, her head on my shoulder, I knew we'd chosen each other. Life tests love with impossible choices. Sophie's risk nearly tore us apart, but it showed me what we could survive. What would you do if your partner chased a dream that endangered everything? Could you hold on, or would you let go?